I am going to start talking about the best practices by going back to a trip I did a year ago, June, to Central Europe. If you were at the summit last year, you heard me tell the story how I got to go for 2 weeks and work with our partner, Amrest. Amrest oversees these brands throughout Central Europe: Burger King, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, KFC. And what I got to do was create service visions with all these brands for Central Europe. I'm going to tell you a couple of best practices specifically about KFC. We were able to work with them into this year as well. They're still a partner of ours. I didn't get to travel over there this year, which is kind of a bummer because it was beautiful. But I did get to still work with them virtually. And here's what we did. So first of all, I told you this last year. One of the things they did I thought was really, really smart. When they went to roll this out, they actually changed the names of some of their positions, right? So they went from what was formerly a cashier, they changed it to guest care. They wanted the position title to better describe what they wanted that person to do in this new culture of service that they were creating. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is the new part that just happened this spring, which I thought was really smart. So they created their Credo cards, and they rolled them out to their 800 or so employees. But what they did next, I thought was great. They took the same Credo card, they put it on a little better material, a harder plastic, if you will. They made it look gold-plated, and they identified the most important 125 stakeholders for this project. Basically, the middle managers that were out there running their locations, that had to live this every day, that had to lead by example. And what they did, if you see here, I know it's difficult on this photo, on the bottom there, that's my friend Libor, that's his card. They personalized these cards for those 125 people. Their names are on it, and there's a number. So they know that it's a limited edition. Not a huge expense, not hard to do, and really help them gain tremendous traction throughout the process. Last year, if you were at the summit before, you heard about this already, the Benson Kearley Secret Service Allowance. Where's Benson Kearley? I knew I would get a yell out of you guys. So you probably heard about this before. I love this idea. Every employee that's in a customer-facing position is given the opportunity to spend some of their allowance on a customer, using Secret Service, finding something out, and buying them something. And then they have to report back. They have to tell everybody else what they bought, what they did, how they made the customer feel. Here's another thing they did this year. This is the new piece. Secret Service Day. Every employee came in and was treated like a VIP, right? They literally walked into work on a red carpet. They were served breakfast at their desks. They had a catered lunch. And other things that were Secret Service related just to them were happening throughout the day, treating them like a VIP. Another great best practice that we hope is the next practice. Risk. Zero risk is being zero risk to do business with. It's making sure that our customers have no concern going into that transaction with you, right? We want to make sure that they feel comfortable with this transaction. They're not worried about it. There's no hesitation. They know if something goes wrong, we're going to pick up the ball and run with it. We will fix it for them. It's our commandment number 7. So, a lot of companies that we work with have done it this year. I'm going to talk about a couple. First, I'm going to start with the maids. What we do, the deliverable from this workshop is the playbook. It's giving people knowledge of what's going to go wrong and how to fix it. Here's some examples from the maids, right? What they delivered to their folks at the end of the day, and think about it from your standpoint for a minute. Wouldn't it be great if you had this in your office, right? What are the 5 steps to resolve the most common customer issues we face? That'd be pretty helpful, right? If we're able to train our people on that instead of them just finding out when they come across one the first time. What are some actions that we can use to minimize some of these challenges? Train them how to avoid the stuff that we cause in the first place, which if you look at it, there's probably a lot. So if you haven't looked from that lens recently, you should. Some other examples are, what are our service recovery protocols? Tell people what they can do. The reason that employees don't help their customer when something goes wrong, 9 times out of 10 is because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble. They don't want to offer some sort of product or some sort of discount for the recovery because they think they're going to get in trouble. So we need to let them know out front, what can you do? How can you help our customers? I want to talk about RPM Pizza. So they also did their internal culture this year. Here's a copy of the front page. And here's something that they did that I love, and other of our clients are doing it. They made this document, and what it's becoming is, it's becoming their certified leader document. And what I mean by that is, so many of us promote people just because they do their jobs well. We don't really ask or know if they're a great leader of others, if they even want to manage. A lot of times, like, hey, you do a great job. Why don't you take over this team? RPM realizes that, and so what they have done in this document is they made sure that in order to be a leader within RPM Pizza, you need to be trained on this. The first thing that happens when you get a promotion is you go through this. This is going to be rolled out shortly here as we finish putting the fine-tuning on it. But we want to make sure that if you're going to lead a team, you know how to do it the RPM way.